Hello.
Tiffany?
Hi, John. Your number comes up like you're calling from Egypt.
Oh, really? This radio station is not in Egypt, I promise you. Not that there's no Tiffany fans in Egypt. I'm sure there are.
I know. That's the next place I want to go to. So
In the shadow of the pyramids.
I'm putting it out there. Yes.
Yeah. So you were driving around in Arizona?
I am. We're making our way to you, actually. So we left Texas and, just going up the street to Washington State.
Wow. That's a road trip.
I'm a road dog, yes. We're really making it happen. But we got a chance to stop at this lovely studio on the way, making our adventures work for us. I had to do a quick project on a friend's Christmas album.
Uh-huh.
So we got to go to this lovely place called Sonic Ranch. Many performers recorded there. This hippy-dippy-dippy-do fabulous studio.
Oh, nice.
I cannot tell you how fabulous. If you're a guitar guy, I mean, every guitar you could ever want in the world.
Yeah.
Like $500,000 guitars, $1 million guitars, like crazy.
Jeez.
I was like, oh my goodness, this is the place to be. Yes, it's an engineer's guitar, even a vocalist's dream, because they had all the mics that I need. I was like, this is like a museum, not really just a studio.
Wow, crazy. Well, that's fun.
The gems that you find on the road.
That's right. You're coming to Clearwater Casino Resort on Saturday, you and Sheena Easton. Man, you always have so much going on. You have a new single. It's Hey Baby. And
yes, it's doing really well in the UK and starting to pick up traction here. So check it out on Tiffany-B&W.com. But yeah, we'll be performing that. And then some of the old school stuff. I'm really excited.
I was thinking about I Think We're Alone Now, which is kind of like your signature song. You first covered that in 1987, and it went to number one and kind of catapulted you to fame and fortune and everything. You actually have updated it. But that I never heard the story about how you found that song in the first place. I mean, it was a hit in 1967 for Tommy James and the Shondells before you were born. When did you first hear it? And I mean, did something click with that song for you, or how did that happen?
Well, I heard it after school when I was driven to the studio in Burbank, California. And I had never heard of Tommy James and the Shondells before. I was 14 at the time. And, the old school version was, children behave.
Yeah.
That's what they say,
Right.
And I was like, what is happening? This is not what we talked about. But, my producer was like, look, I'm going to do the track tonight, and then I'll go home with the demo. And I did. The next morning, actually, my girlfriend came over before we went to school, and I played it, trying to get to know it a little bit because I had to do a vocal that afternoon when I got back from school. So, and they were dancing around the room, and they were loving it already. It had absolutely no vocals on it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, it kind of grew on me. So I went in and recorded it. And what you hear is really one pass of the vocal on the record. And, I fell in love with the song. And I've fallen in love with Tommy James as a person because he's lovely and he's so supportive. And I love the backstory now, getting to know, Tommy James and the Shondells and their experiences and back in the 60s and the 70s,
Yeah.
'Cause I'm an old soul. So I love all those tales. So full circle with I Think We're Alone Now. Yes, we re-recorded it about 4 years ago. And I took you back to all the places in the new video, my high school, the place I recorded it. So you get a little bit more in-depth, information there and like a little bit more in-depth Tiffany. But, we rocked it out a little bit, keeping it, to the integrity of the song. And you don't want to shake everybody's like connection with that song.
Right,
but
right.
I thought it was really cool to kind of up the guitars a little bit, make it a little bit more rocker, fitting some of the new music that we're doing. Because my new sound is really pretty straightforward, fun, punk, 80s, Tiffany, Ramones, Blondie, Go-Go's, all the bands that I love with a very modern flair. There's something about 80s music that was fun. And I really wanted to incorporate that into the new Shadows album. And I think that we did a great job.
Now, I'm assuming this kind of started in the pandemic, the Let's Food with Tiffany project?
It did. Well, I was already cooking for the band and sharing a lot of my recipes with my fans. And unbeknownst to me, they were sharing them back and forth and doing some of my dishes. Some of my dishes have been in cookbooks. with other people. And I've been very lucky that they featured my Lebanese cinnamon chicken and things like that. So that was kind of bubbling a little bit. And then I was always wanting to do the fan experience where I cook in an Airbnb that's more like a private party and like a, kind of more of an elite meet and greet. So that was already on the horizon. And when Let's Food, started to really bubble in my brain was the first few weeks of the pandemic. I thought, I have worked so hard on the album, the touring, everything, that this is not going to be healthy for me because I'm a doer. And I'm going to drive my boyfriend crazy. What can I be doing to engage with the fan that I really love to do that even for me, I was shaken to my core. It's like nervous energy.
For real.
I was like, what is happening? There's not much we can do. It's out of our hands. So it really kind of comforted me to start going in the kitchen, cooking, turning on the camera, showing my fans, getting their input back and forth, sharing recipes. And so I started my cooking club, Let's Food with Tiffany. It's $15 a month, and you get to be in my personal space in all the adventures on the side of the road and backstage and all the different mom and pop places to great high-end restaurants, and cooking with me at home, cooking with me and with my friends, cooking with me in the band that you really don't get to see yet out on the road. We will have those meet and greet packages for next year, but right now we still have to be respectful to COVID.
Yep.
So I'm just cooking for a living out there, having a good time. It really is my secondary passion, but I do think food and music go hand in hand, and eventually that'll be like the best meet and greet. Well, I'll sing to you and cook for you.
I just want to smell that Lebanese cinnamon chicken. That just seems like it would smell fantastic.
It is amazing. It is a family recipe, which I've made it a little bit more my own. But I'm Lebanese and grew up in East LA from Norwalk, California. So I have the Mexican, cuisine background as well, and love Mexican food.
Oh, man.
As well as Thai food and Japanese food. I'm loving all of my cooks that are following me on my cooking club because they really are taking chances, and I love to watch them grow and get the feedback. And some of them are always, I have kids. I don't want to make all these different meals. I'm like, that's what toppings are for. Toppings are fun. And then they can travel in your kitchen to their own little land right there at the same table.
I love it. It's great. Speaking of kids, you're a natural redhead. And I feel like a lot of people with red hair were not that happy that they were redheads when they were kids. Was it that way for you? It was. I mean, yeah, in school, it's like I was a little slow to kind of get some of the jokes, but, of course, I'd rather be dead than red on the head was a very popular one. Oh, man.
And I just was like, I want to dye my hair. And I did. When I was 18, I went like kind of like a black purple. I loved it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But I soon realized that people were like, and you are on a red carpet. I was like, I'm Tiffany. And they're like, now without the red head, you're not. I'm sorry.
Well, I think when you're younger, kids don't want to stand out usually, but once you realize that it's an asset, it's kind of cool, then you can work with it.
Now as a woman where I see people dyeing their hair and they want this color, I'm like, well, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Full circle again. But, I mean, I own being a redhead now. I'm fiery. I love my, heritage. It's actually, my red hair comes from being Lebanese, actually.
Oh.
My great-grandfather was bright red hair.
Wow.
So, but I have Scottish background as well. I'm sure somewhere there's another redhead in my family, but for right now, there's only me, and and I do love it. Now it's like it's different, it's unique. So yeah, there's something to be said about being a redhead.
Well, we'll see you on Saturday at the Clearwater Casino Resort, Tiffany and Sheena Easton, and get back in the bus or the van or whatever. Get back on the road.
Back in the van, driving to you. Definitely, we head out tomorrow. We've got the day off for a second, and then I can't wait to see everybody at the show. Sheena Easton, I want to say quickly, is amazing. Mm-hmm. So definitely, you're getting two ladies of the 80s, and she does not disappoint. I get to watch her on the side of the stage every night when I perform with her. She's lovely, and I love all of her music. And wow, what a powerhouse as a vocalist.
No kidding. Well, I can't wait. It really sounds fun. And thanks for taking some time to talk to us. We'll see you this weekend.
Thank you. See you soon.
All right, Tiffany. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.